Alright, section 3.2 is on loans. Okay, a promissory note. This is a signed agreement to borrow money. This is the paperwork that you guys fill out. Principal, this is the amount that you owe for the money that you borrowed. Annual percentage rate, or APR, this is the interest rate you pay per year. A cosigner, this is a person who has credit that may sign with you. Alright, usually this is for people without a credit history. So say you're just starting out credit, like you guys are just starting out credit, your parents may be a cosigner. Life insurance. This insures and pays your beneficiaries a specific amount of money if you were to die. Prepayment privilege. This allows a borrower to pay towards principal early. Prepayment penalty. This requires borrowers to pay a fee if they want to pay back early. So that's in the paperwork, in the promissory note, that's in the deal. You got to read those fine print. Wage assignment. This is voluntary deduction from employee's paycheck. Wage garnishment. This is involuntary form of wage assignment. This is usually enforced by a court order. Balloon payment. The last monthly payment on some loans can be higher than the previous. So if you set up a balloon mortgage, for example, the tail end of it will be a lot bigger than the beginning. The monthly payment formula looks intimidating, but it's not bad. And again, you'll have open notes, so you get to refer back to this. But just the key parts are important. P is your principal. R is your rate as a decimal. T is the number of years. And the M out in front, that's what your monthly payment would be. Okay, so if you need to pause for definitions, go ahead. Number 1 says arrange the following lending institutions by descending order, right, for their APRs, their interest rates. So descending order would be biggest to smallest. Okay, so the biggest would be Columbia. Then you have 9.5 or 9.5 East Meadow. Then First Bank of Rhinecliff. Then Tivoli Trust and Clinton Park Credit Union. Best way to do this, take the fractions and put them into the calculator. You get a decimal out, and then you can arrange them and see the order a lot easier. Number 2 says how many monthly payments will be made for 2.5-year loan. So 2.5 times 12 months per year gives you 30 payments. Number 3, Rachel has a $10,000 3-year loan with an APR percentage rate of 7.25. What is her monthly payment? So again, refer back to that monthly payment formula. It's up at the top of your notes. You don't have to memorize it. It's all open notes, so you can refer to it anytime you need. Okay? So $10,000 principal. Your rate is 7.25% or 0.0725 divided by 12 times 1 plus 0.0725 divided by 12, and it's 12t up here in the power. So 12 times 3 because it is a 3-year loan. And again, you fill in the bottom part, gives you a total monthly payment of $309.92. What is your total amount of monthly payments? So again, $309.92 times 36 months, because it's 3 years. So $309.92 times 36 gives you $11,157.12. What is the finance charge? Well, she only borrowed $10,000. So you take your $11,157.12 minus 10,000 gives you a finance charge or interest charge of $1,157.12. Number 4, the policy of the Broadway pawn shop is to lend up to 35% of the value of a borrower's collateral. John wants to use $3,000 ring and a $1,200 necklace as collateral for a loan. What is the maximum amount he can borrow from Broadway? So the ring is $3,000 plus the necklace is $1,200, gives you a total value of $4,200. They can lend up to 35% of that total. So $4,200 times 0.35 times 35% gives you $1,470. So you're able to borrow $1,470 at that pawn shop. Lavonda took out a $7,500 loan with an APR of 6.875 and agreed to pay it back monthly over 6 years. How many monthly payments did she make? So 12 months in a year. She agreed to pay it over 6 years. So 6 times 12 gives you 72 monthly payments. Number 6, Rob wants to purchase a $5,000 drum set. The music store offers him a 2-year installment agreement requiring $800 down payment and then monthly payments of $202.50. Rob has poor credit rating. What is his interest rate on this installment agreement? So you take your $5,000 drum set minus your $800 down payment gives you a total borrowing amount of $4,200. Okay? We're borrowing $4,200. His monthly payments are $202.50. Okay? And it's a 2-year agreement, so times 24 gives you $48.60 worth of payments. So you're paying $48.60, but you only borrowed $4,200. So $48.60 minus $4,200 equals $660 worth of interest. All right, and that's the money you're paying the company to borrow the money. Instead of using the store's installment plan, Rob can borrow $5,000 at an APR of 13% from the local consumer finance company. What would be the monthly payment for his loan using the change it from table to formula? We're going to use our monthly payment formula, again from your notes. Okay. Interest rate's 13%. Principal is $5,000. 2 years is T. Okay, so you're going to plug in all that stuff into that formula. When you do it on the calculator, I would do the top first, get a number, and then divide it by the bottom. Okay. That gives you $237.71 as a monthly payment. Now continuing that, how much interest would the finance charge company charge? So you take your monthly payment of $237.71 times 24 payments, because it's 2 years still, gives you $57.0504. Okay? So that's how much you're paying over the life of the loan. So $57.0504 minus $5,000, the amount you borrowed, gives you $705.04. So you're paying that finance company $705.04, but you're only paying the store itself $660. So the store installment plan is much lower. Number 7, a loan used for buying a home is called a mortgage. The Fortunato family is buying a $430,000 home. They are taking out a 30-year mortgage at a rate of 8%. Compute the monthly payment. So R is 8%, so 0.08. 30 years would be T. Principal is $430,000. Okay. Plug it all into the formula. Okay, again, it looks more daunting than it really is, as long as you know those set numbers. You get a monthly payment of $3155.19. $3155.19. Find the total of all monthly payments for 30 years. So you take your $3155.19 times 360. 30 years times 12 is 360. So over the 30 years, you're paying $1,135,868.40. Okay, just to borrow that money. That's why mortgages are a lot of paperwork, because you're borrowing a lot of money. What is the finance charge? Well, you paid over the 30 years $1,135,868.40, but you only borrowed $430,000 for that house. So over the life of the 30 years, you're paying that mortgage company interest of $708,868.40. Which is the greater value? Which typically is always the case. Your interest is usually greater than the principal. Okay, and that is it for section 3.2.